Have you ever wondered what truly makes someone glow with timeless beauty? Is it the clothes they wear or the calm they carry? What if the secret to graceful aging isn't something you buy, but something you become? Take a pause. Close your eyes. Feel the stillness that surrounds you. Life rushes by in a blur of moments, but wisdom blooms in silence. It grows in those precious pauses, when we stop, when we breathe, when we reflect deeply on where we've been and where we're going. To age isn't to fade. It's not about what we leave behind. It's about what we grow into. It's a journey of expansion, of insight, of becoming more fully ourselves with every passing year. Think of a river. It doesn't resist the land. It flows effortlessly, gracefully, carving through stone, shaping valleys, nourishing all that grows along its banks. In many ways, we are like that river. We can choose to move with grace too, to let the current of time guide us gently, not break us. With each season, we are being sculpted into something wiser, stronger, and infinitely more beautiful. But here's the real question. How do we welcome this transformation? How do we grow older with grace, with poise, with quiet joy? The answer won't be found in miracle creams or fleeting beauty trends. No, the real secret is something far deeper. It's in your mindset. It's in the choices you make. It's in the peace you cultivate within. And what better guide on this journey than the timeless teachings of the Buddha? Today we'll explore 10 powerful Buddhist-inspired principles, gentle yet transformative lessons to help you radiate confidence, warmth, and deep inner fulfillment as you step into the golden chapters of life. So, take a deep breath, brew yourself a soothing cup of tea, and join me as we walk this mindful path together. If these words touch your heart, I invite you to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Buddhism Seeds, your space for wisdom, reflection, and soulful living. Now, let us begin. 1. Dress with grace, not just for the body, but for the soul. There's an old Zen saying, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. In the West, fashion is often seen as a way to express identity, but in Buddhism, true elegance doesn't begin with clothing. It begins within. It's about how we carry ourselves, how we respect our bodies, and how we choose garments that speak to the soul, not just to the season. Let me tell you a story. In Kyoto, there once lived an elderly woman named Yuki. For decades, she wore the same deep indigo kimono. Every stitch was lovingly repaired, every crease carefully folded. One day, someone asked her, "Why don't you ever change your clothes?" She simply smiled and replied, "The world may change, but my heart stays steady like the mountain. My clothes reflect that steadiness." Yuki's quiet wisdom reveals something essential. Clothing is more than fabric. It's a mirror of our inner calm. When we dress with awareness, with presence, what we wear becomes more than attire. It becomes a quiet statement of peace. Think of how you feel in your favorite outfit. That subtle confidence, that ease in your body, that soft joy. That's the power of mindful dressing. So next time you choose what to wear, look beyond fleeting trends. Choose pieces that comfort you, that feel like a soft extension of your serenity. Maybe it's a flowing linen dress that moves like a gentle breeze, or a warm shawl the color of a setting sun, wrapping you in quiet strength. And always remember, before anyone sees your clothes, they feel your energy. True style isn't about impressing others. It's about honoring yourself. And so, as we dress not just for the world, but for the soul, we begin to radiate a presence that words cannot quite define, a quiet confidence, a calm strength, one that doesn't chase approval because it already knows its worth. 2. Keep learning, keep growing. There's a Buddhist saying that goes, "The mind is like a garden. If you don't tend it, weeds will surely grow." Isn't that such a vivid image? As we age, it's tempting to believe that our time for learning has passed. But in truth, aging isn't a reason to stop learning. It's the very reason to keep going. Because a curious mind never grows old. It stays vibrant, flexible, alive. There's a wonderful story about a Zen master named Ryo. At the age of 90, he decided to learn calligraphy, a skill that demands precision, patience, and grace. When someone asked him why he would take on such a challenge so late in life, he chuckled and said, "Because when I turn 100, I want to be great at it." That simple reply is more than just charming. It's profound. It reminds us that growth has no expiration date, that it is never too late to try, to learn, to begin again. Imagine waking up each day with a childlike sense of wonder, treating the world as an open book, pages still unwritten, waiting for your story. Whether it's learning to bake a new recipe, exploring a new philosophy, or discovering the name of a bird that sings outside your window, every new insight adds richness to your life. And learning doesn't always happen in classrooms or through textbooks. It happens in conversations that open your heart, in mistakes that offer wisdom, in the quiet reflection that follows a new idea. A woman or man who never stops learning, never stops evolving. They remain dynamic, present, and deeply attuned to a world that never stays still. So go ahead, read that book you've kept on the shelf for years. Sign up for that online course that's been calling to you. Watch a documentary, sketch a flower, write a poem, or listen to a podcast about something you know nothing about. Let yourself become a student of life, always eager, always open. Because here's a truth worth holding close. There is nothing more radiant, nothing more timelessly elegant than a mind that continues to grow. 3rd, stand tall, move with purpose. Have you ever noticed the quiet dignity of someone who walks slowly, deliberately, spine tall, gaze calm? It's not just posture, it's presence. The Buddha once taught that the way we move through the world is a reflection of the way we think. When we slump our shoulders, we echo inner heaviness. When we rise upright, we signal confidence, clarity, and calm. Posture is more than alignment. It's a living declaration, a message that says, "I am here, fully present." Picture yourself walking through life as though your feet are gently rooted in the earth and your crown is being pulled upward by a golden thread of light. You move slowly, mindfully, each step an offering of grace, each breath an anchor to the present moment. There's a story of an elderly monk who never rushed. Even in the busiest temples or bustling streets, he moved with the serenity of drifting clouds. One day, a disciple asked, "Master, why do you never hurry?" The monk smiled and said, "Because where I need to be is exactly where I am." What a beautiful lesson for all of us. To walk not out of urgency, but out of awareness. To trust the rhythm of the universe. To know that rushing often takes us further from peace, not closer to it. Try it yourself. Next time you walk, picture that golden thread. Let your spine lengthen. Let your shoulders melt down your back. Let your breath deepen and slow. Move as if you carry peace. Move as if you are peace. Because in many ways, you are. 4. Embrace your silver crown. Before you even speak a word, your posture, your way of moving through the world, tells a story. A person who walks with calm intention, who stands upright and grounded, often draws admiration. Not because of wealth, not because of fame, but because of presence. So take a moment today to pause. Notice how you move through your day. Are you rushing from one task to another, shoulders hunched, breathing shallow, mind racing? Or are you gliding with poise, allowing each moment to unfold with calm awareness? Even a simple shift, adjusting your posture, deepening your breath, can bring grace into your everyday motions. Let presence, not pressure, be your compass. Let your body move like water, flowing, rooted, and graceful. And as you move with more awareness, don't forget another sign of presence and inner growth, your silver hair. In many places around the world, gray hair is something people try to hide. It's dyed, masked, and treated as if it were a flaw. But in Buddhist tradition, it's something else entirely. It's respected, even revered. The Buddha once spoke of the 4 signs that awakened him to life's true nature. One of those signs, the image of an old man. It wasn't a moment of despair, but a moment of awakening. He realized that aging was not a curse, but a truth to embrace. Your silver strands are more than hair. They are a crown woven from years of resilience, love, experience, and grace. They are evidence of the storms you've weathered and the wisdom you've earned. Let me share a story. In a quiet mountain village, there lived an elderly woman named Setsuko. Every morning, she would sit outside her home, her silver hair glowing in the morning light as she knitted blankets for the village children. One day, her granddaughter asked her, "Grandma, why don't you dye your hair like the other women?" Setsuko smiled warmly, ran her fingers through her shimmering strands, and replied, "These silver hairs tell my story. Each one holds a memory, a lesson, a part of my life's journey. To hide them would be like erasing the path that made me who I am." That day, the young girl looked at her grandmother in a new light. She didn't see aging as something to avoid. She saw it as something beautiful, something sacred. Setsuko's silver crown wasn't a sign of decline. It was living proof of a life deeply lived. So, my dear friend, embrace your silver crown with pride. Keep it healthy and radiant, yes, but never hide it. See it not as the fading of youth, but as the arrival of wisdom. Each strand carries a story. Each silver thread is a mark of strength, a memory, a quiet victory. Let it shine. 5. Nourish your body like a sacred temple. Just as we honor the marks of time on our hair, we must also care for the body that carries us through life. The Buddha once said, "To keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear." In other words, taking care of your body isn't about vanity. It's an act of self-respect, a form of reverence. Your body is your home, your temple, your only vehicle on this sacred journey of life. The food you eat, the water you drink, the way you move, the way you rest. All of these are offerings to the body that serves you every single day. There was once a monk who took meticulous care of his body. One day, a student asked him, "Master, if we're supposed to be detached from the physical world, why do you spend so much effort caring for your body?" The monk smiled and replied, "Because this body is the only vehicle I have to reach enlightenment. If I neglect it, how can I complete my path?" That insight reminds us, Caring for the body is not indulgence, it's mindfulness in action. Hydration, for instance, is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to nourish yourself. Drinking water is more than quenching thirst. It's a way to restore, to reset, to realign with life itself. Imagine offering your body cool, clear water as you would offer flowers at a shrine. It's a small gesture, but one that holds great meaning. After all, treating the body like a sacred temple means more than eating well. It's about how we nourish, hydrate, and move with respect. But did you know that even the way we eat and drink can become a form of mindfulness? Let every sip and bite be sacred. Think of hydration not just as refreshing the body, but as cleansing the mind. Each sip of water is more than relief for thirst. It's a quiet moment of care, a pause to return to yourself. Now let's talk about food. Oh, food. It's not merely fuel. It's energy. It's healing. It's life in its purest, most delicious form. When we eat fresh fruits, vibrant vegetables, and nourishing whole grains, we're not just feeding the body. We're inviting nature's medicine to flow through us. Mindful eating means slowing down, savoring each bite, choosing nourishment over indulgence. It's a quiet thank you to the body that carries us, a daily act of gratitude. And then there's movement, not in the form of punishment or pressure, but as meditation in motion. Whether it's a simple morning stretch, a calming walk, or a rejuvenating yoga session, intentional movement brings your body to life. It keeps your blood flowing, your joints flexible, and your spirit light. So ask yourself, when was the last time you moved just for the joy of it? To honor your body, move with presence, with gentleness, with respect. Treat your body not as a burden to fix, but as a sacred gift to cherish. Listen to it, care for it, and it will thank you in return with clarity, vitality, and strength for years to come. 6. Kindness, the true mark of elegance. There is no adornment more beautiful than a kind heart. As His Holiness the Dalai Lama once said, "My religion is very simple. My religion is kindness." True elegance isn't found in polished manners or expensive clothes. It lives in how we treat others, in how we carry warmth, compassion, and softness into every space we enter. There's a touching story from a small monastery. An elderly woman spent her days wiping the wooden benches of the temple, even though she rarely sat on them herself. One day, someone asked her, "Why do you clean these benches so often?" She smiled gently and said, "Because the next person who sits here might be tired. If I can make their moment just a little more pleasant, then my day is complete." That's the power of kindness. It needs no words. It's felt in the softness of a touch, the warmth of a smile, or a silent nod that says, "I see you." When we are kind, we don't just change someone's day, we leave a mark on their heart. So be generous. Offer a smile. Listen with your whole attention. Hold a door open. Help carry a bag. Write a heartfelt note. These small acts ripple outward in ways we may never fully see. And don't forget, kindness isn't just something you offer to others. It begins with how you treat yourself. Speak to yourself kindly. Forgive your past mistakes. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Honor your own unfolding journey. Because in the end, kindness isn't only about making the world softer, it's about nurturing the heart that gives it. 7. A healthy life is a happy life. To age gracefully is to keep moving gently through life. Whether it's yoga, tai chi, dancing, or simply walking under the trees, each motion becomes a prayer of gratitude. Each stretch, a celebration of the body you've been gifted. Movement, in its truest form, isn't about burning calories. It's about feeling alive. It's about honoring the miracle of your physical form. There was once a retired doctor named Dr. Lee, who spent his mornings in a quiet park, practicing Tai Chi. His movements were slow, almost still, but every gesture held elegance, every breath held calm. One day, a young jogger passed by and asked, "Doctor, why do you move so slowly?" Dr. Lee smiled and replied, "Because I'm savoring every moment. When you rush, you miss life." Such a simple truth, yet so easily forgotten. So move not to escape aging, but to dance with it. With every breath, every step, let your body remind you, I am here, I am capable, I am alive. As we explored before, movement isn't just physical, it's a sacred celebration of being alive. When we move with joy, presence, and intention, we awaken the body and the mind. Now, let's turn to something just as vital for your well-being, the energy of those around you. 8. Choose your circle wisely. Just as we must care for the body and mind, we must also care for the company we keep. The people around us shape our energy more than we often realize. Negative energy is like a slow leak. It quietly drains the spirit. But the presence of encouraging, uplifting people, that fills us. That helps us rise. Seek out companions who make your heart feel lighter. People who celebrate your growth, remind you of your worth, and speak to the best within you. The Buddha once warned, "An insincere friend is more dangerous than a wild beast." And there's a simple yet powerful story that brings this to life. In a quiet village tucked in the hills, there lived a wise monk known for his peaceful nature. One day, a young traveler arrived, eager to learn. "Master," he asked, "how do I know who my true friends are?" The monk smiled gently and led the young man to a nearby pond. He picked up 2 stones, one light and one heavy, and dropped them into the water. The heavy stone sank quickly to the bottom, but the light one, it floated gently, dancing with the ripples. The monk turned to the young man and said, "True friends are like the light stone. They float with you, support you, and never pull you down. But beware of the heavy ones, the ones who drag you under. They are not friends, but burdens in disguise." The message is clear. Be mindful of your circle. Surround yourself with those who bring peace, not pressure, lightness, not weight. Because in the end, the energy you carry is shaped by the company you keep. 9. Laugh. Often, laugh freely. Laughter is more than a sound. It's the music of a joyful soul, a melody that lifts the spirit and lightens the load. Too often, we carry the weight of life too seriously. But what if joy could be found in the tiniest of moments? A warm cup of tea, the feel of sunlight on your face, a shared smile with a passing stranger. In a small village nestled among the rolling hills, there lived an old man named Haru. He was well into his 70s, but his laughter rang out like temple bells in the morning mist. People would often gather around him, not for grand wisdom, but simply to hear his stories. They were simple tales, but they sparkled with humor and warmth. Haru found delight in everything: a child chasing butterflies, the first bloom of spring, the glimmer of sunlight on the river's surface. One day, someone asked him, "What's the secret to your happiness?" He laughed again and replied, "I don't laugh because life is perfect. I laugh because I've made peace with its imperfections." What a beautiful way to live. So let yourself laugh, not just when things are easy, but especially when they're not. Let go of tension. Let go of the need to control every detail. A light heart will carry you farther than a heavy one, and when you choose joy, you radiate it, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. 10. Never stop evolving. And finally, remember this: you are still blooming. Just like the lotus rises from the mud, you too are growing through every messy, imperfect, beautiful moment of life. The lotus never complains about the dirt. It simply reaches for the light. Every day is a chance to become more aware, more refined, more radiant. There's a story of a humble monk who lived in a secluded mountain monastery. One day, a young disciple came to him, weary and disheartened. "Master," he said, "I've studied so much, practiced so many teachings, yet I still feel lost. When will I finally reach enlightenment?" The monk smiled gently, then pointed to an ancient tree nearby. "See that tree?" he said. "It stood here for over a century, but it still grows. It still stretches upward, day by day." Then he added, "So too must you continue growing. Enlightenment is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey. Let this be your reminder. You are not finished. You are unfolding. With every experience, you evolve. With every challenge, you grow. You are a work of sacred art, always in progress. You are still becoming." So often, we think of personal growth as a finish line, as if one day we'll arrive at the perfect version of ourselves and simply stay there. But the reality is, there is no final version of you. There is only the journey, the becoming, the unfolding, the ever-deepening awareness of who you are. Every experience, every interaction, every lesson you've lived through adds another beautiful layer to your story. To evolve is to remain open to learning, open to transformation, open to seeing yourself through new eyes. And let's be honest, growth rarely happens in comfort. It happens when we stretch beyond the familiar, when we step into uncertainty, when we trust the unknown. Many of us fear change, but consider this. The caterpillar doesn't resist its metamorphosis into a butterfly. It surrenders to the process, trusting that something breathtaking is waiting on the other side. The river, too, doesn't fight the twists in its path. It flows, turn by turn, trusting that every bend carries it closer to the great ocean. Now ask yourself, how have you changed in the last year, in the last 10? Are you holding on to an outdated image of who you were, or are you giving yourself the grace to evolve? One of the greatest barriers to growth is fear. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of the unknown. But as the Buddha taught, clinging is the root of suffering. When we hold too tightly to what we were, we block what we could become. So let go. Release the old versions of yourself that no longer serve your spirit. Just as the snake sheds its skin, just as the trees release their leaves each autumn, you too are allowed to begin again. Embrace the sacred cycles of renewal in your own life. Try something new. Pick up a hobby. Explore a fresh perspective. Read books that challenge your worldview. Surround yourself with people who uplift and stretch your mind. Let curiosity be the lantern that lights your path forward. And above all, be patient with yourself. Growth is not a straight line. It is a spiral, a winding road with peaks, pauses, and valleys. There will be days when you feel stuck, days when you feel like you're going backward. But trust this, even the difficult days are shaping you into something more complete. There's a beautiful Zen saying, "You are exactly who you need to be in this moment, and you are also still becoming. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be. So keep evolving, keep growing, keep rising toward the light. Because this journey isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the truest, most authentic version of yourself. Aging isn't about fading, it's about deepening. Just like the roots of an ancient tree burrow deeper with time, so too does your wisdom, your presence, your essence. Every wrinkle, every silver strand, every silent reflection. These are the markers of a life fully lived, of lessons learned, of quiet inner triumphs. Imagine, for just a moment, standing at the edge of a still lake. The sun slowly dips beyond the horizon, and yet there is no sorrow in its descent, only grace, only acceptance, because even the day knows darkness gives way to another dawn. So too must we learn to trust the seasons of our own becoming. Each passing year is not a loss, but a gift, a chance to deepen, to grow, to give more love, more kindness, more peace. Let this be your gentle reminder. You are not growing older. You are growing richer in insight, in purpose, in compassion. You are still blooming, like the lotus rising from the depths, always reaching toward the light. As you walk forward from here, may you carry gratitude for the years that shaped you, the trials that strengthened you, and the beauty of simply being here in this moment. Thank you for sharing this sacred journey with me today. If this message touched your heart, I warmly invite you to like this video to help others discover it. Leave a comment below and share what wisdom you carry with you. Subscribe to Buddhism Seeds for more weekly reflections on living with grace, clarity, and calm. And if you feel inspired, share this message with someone you love. Until we meet again, may you walk with ease, may you love with an open heart, and may you always find peace right where you are.